Are single-family homes a better long-term investment than townhomes? Let's look into it. Before we begin, let's clarify what a single-family home is versus a townhome so that we're on the same page. A single-family home is an independent residential structure that sits on its own land and is designed to be used as a single dwelling unit, having just one kitchen, unshared walls, and unshared utilities. While a townhome is an attached home, also owned by one resident. However, one or more walls are shared with an adjacent attached townhomes. Now, there may be n-unit townhomes, so they may only share one wall, but if you're in the middle, you may share two separate walls. Now, townhomes typically have an HOA or a homeowners association. A homeowners association is an organization in a subdivision, planned community, or a condo building that makes and enforces rules for the properties and its residents. Some people really hate having this monthly fee, but it's not actually so bad, as most of the associations will cover the exterior of your home, including paint, landscaping, and the roof itself. Thus, your typical insurance premiums tend to be a little bit lower. Standard townhomes in the Bay Area range between $250 a month to $450 a month, but it really does vary by location and what it ultimately covers. At the same time, many of the newer single-family homes that are built in the 90s also have an HOA, but the monthly HOA amount tends to be much lower. They may cover any sort of like communal space like swimming pools, regular pavements of the common road. They also may have specific rules as to overnight parking on the streets, so it does keep the streets a lot cleaner and less congested. So, what are the advantages and disadvantages of owning a single-family home? For single-family homes, you own the land itself, so you have a lot more flexibility and options as to what you want to do with it. Whether it's creating your own hydroponic garden, doing an extension in the future because you need more space, or even building out an ADU or an in-law unit, that's really up to the owner to decide. The downside is it's significantly more expensive to get into a single-family home when compared to a townhome in that particular city. It's usually a few hundred of thousands of dollars more to live in a single family than a townhome here in the Bay Area. And there's also a lot more upkeep that you have to be aware of and be responsible for. So what about townhomes? The advantages are that the price point entering is much lower, and you're typically in areas that is in pretty good vicinity to a lot of commercial space. On the downside, most townhomes these days do have 3, if not 4 levels, which may make it very difficult if you're living with your parents and for them to ultimately go up and down the flight of stairs. Your also HOA dues may increase over the years, and that's really out of your control. So what is the actual better long-term investment? I always get this conversation. Is it a condo, is it a townhome, or is it a single family? So I actually tracked the returns of all single family homes and townhomes all the way back to 2006 in a couple of cities around the Bay Area. And you may actually notice that it's very comparable in specific cities that are being measured. And in many cases, townhomes, condos have actually outperformed single family homes in those same cities. The more important measurement is not between the asset class itself, but it's more where you actually choose from a location perspective. The city with where you're at actually matters a lot more. So for example, take a look if you bought a townhome in Sunnyvale or Santa Clara in 2006, you actually would have done better than owning a Fremont single family home during that time. I hope this was enlightening, because a lot of people may think different asset classes just don't appreciate as much, which is not the case. Location matters more than the type. So if you're thinking from an investment perspective, be sure to strongly factor that in. The supply of new properties in these areas are very low, with very little new development given the lack of space. Hence why the properties actually do better. There is a supply and demand element, versus if you think about Fremont, Milpitas, San Jose, there is a lot more new construction, which makes it a lot harder from a resale perspective, given those are going to be newer and potentially nicer products. So what do you think? Were you surprised with the result? Leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions or would like to begin the home buying journey, let's talk. I'm never too busy to be introduced, and I'm never too busy to have a private conversation about your specific needs and share how I can help you every step of the way. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and click on the little bell. You'll be notified every time I release a new video. Thanks for tuning in to another episode, Engineering a Better Life Today.